Hello and welcome back to the channel. We appreciate you tuning in to watch as my wife and I try to put together our workshop here. If you're new, let me catch you up to speed. In the previous episodes, we installed a vapor barrier and some foam board insulation. We coated that in some fiberglass insulation, then blasted some OSB to the bottom of the trusses, and heck, we threw some fiberglass up there as well. After that, we sheathed the walls with some 3/8 plywood and started laying out what we wanted the aesthetic finish to be. Then we slapped some paint on the ceiling, and that brings us to where we're at now. So we hope you enjoy this video and stick along for the ride.
Unload some paneling for the top half of the walls. Oh right, we should do a before and after.
Oh, yeah,
because we're not really good at that.
I never think to do that. Try to think about reproducible camera angles for afterward, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe even a picture. Oh yeah, this would be a good thing.
The crack.
Yeah, maybe take a picture from here too. Okay, I don't know where we're at in the video right now, but after a lot of back and forth, we think we finally landed on what we want to do on the tops of these walls. Again, we have this plywood as like a, you know, the wall sheathing. And then just to try to pretty it up a little bit, we picked up some of this wood paneling. Now, we wish it were a little darker. But, yeah, if anyone's tried to buy lumber, this is like middle of the year 2021. It's crazy expensive right now. And they didn't have anything darker than this unless we wanted to spend like 30 something bucks a sheet. And that's just not, yeah, that just wasn't going to happen. I'm not about to spend 30 bucks a sheet on like paper thin wood paneling, so. It's really not doing anything other than trying to make this look a little more finished. So, we picked up what your grandparents had in their basement in the 70s, and I think it'll look okay, you know? It'll look better than what's up there now. And if we hate the lack of contrast, we can always paint the steel on the bottom. But honestly, I think it'll look fine. But yeah, that's where we're at. So I guess I'm ready to start cutting and brad nailing paneling. That's the plan. Wish me luck. So as I'm sure you have noticed by now, I'm no master craftsman and I'm not building a Taj Mahal here. And per usual, this process is not brain surgery. I just put the 2x4 up there, scribe where the opening is, zip it off with my super sketchy Facebook Marketplace miter saw that doesn't cut square at all. And then, you just kind of throw it back on the wall, flush it up with the opening as best you can, throw some screws in it. So, yeah, it's a simple process, making it look as good as I can. Hope you're enjoying, and sit back and enjoy another absolute banger of a copyright-free track that I found on the internet for you. Well, with all of the paneling hung, this is what we're left with. Nice big gaps between the finished wall surface and the framing with insulation sticking out, and just all around not looking awesome. So we decided, you know what, that just won't do. So what'd we do? You guessed it, we hopped right back on Facebook Marketplace, and what did we find? Well, we found a feller selling some leftover baseboard off of one of his projects, or a job site. And we thought to ourselves, you know what, I reckon that baseboard will make a pretty fine window casing. Alright, so it's the next day, and slapping these window casings, or whatever you'd call them, in here. And yeah, I think you just saw us install this one. I think it came out pretty good. I mean, the intent is just to make it look a little more finished, and I feel like it definitely looks a little more finished. It's probably backlit as all get out. Hopefully you can see what we're looking at. Anyway, yeah, it's not perfect by any means. We put a screw in every now and then to grab 2x4s to suck it in, make these gaps a little better, but we're considering like using like pallet wood to like trim, I guess, around the upper portions, but I don't know, we're not sure yet. But yeah, the gaps aren't perfect by any means, but they're good enough for who they're for. I could spend a ton more time trying to make them perfect, but nothing's square. It's a barn. I'm not that good. Yada yada. Just not gonna spend the time to do that. I don't think it's worth it. But yeah, got a nice big place to put a beer when you're working out here, and I think it looks pretty nice. We've done this one, which you just saw. We did this one over here. And now it's just rinse and repeat. May not even film the rest of them because it's exactly the same, but we're just gonna go ahead and do the same thing to the little windows. 6 of them. And I already did the door. I guess I could show you the door. It came out decent as well. Decent is kind of the best way to describe anything that I do. I cut that notch out. Totally didn't need to. I was complete brain fart. So I just stapled it back in, but whatever. It's okay, it's behind the door. Again, decent. Oh, this is locked for some reason. Yeah. looking more finished. So, keep on trucking.
Hang on. Yeah.
Well, folks, I'm afraid that's about all the time we have for this episode. If you're still watching, we certainly appreciate you spending some time with us, and we hope you'll stick around as we near the end of this journey. In the next episode, we'll be installing some lights and focusing on wiring the building, and we certainly hope to see you then. Have a good one.